Hi Vantase, Ninjani Sana. Sana, I thought I would bring you to my quiet spot, and we talk from here, sort of like a sit down. We all about self-improvement, Vantase, on this channel. You understand? Inside out. We spoke about a number of things, decluttering in the beginning, how important that is, and you have to keep on doing it all the time. Yeah, one of us, it's not a once-off something. It's something that you constantly have to do because there's always things to correct in your life, right? And we are constantly learning. So I was like, let me just have a sit down and answer. We grew up, in very different environments. Some of them were not so conducive for us. And these environments, it's not environments that we chose to be coming from. Okay, Mandase. And there's something that happens to every human being between the ages of 5 and perhaps up to young adult age, right? We pick up cues, we pick up information from the people around us, in our families, right? From the things that they believe, from the way they act, the things they say, right, to us. Because those are the people that we have around. It might not be very conducive at times, right? Might be very hostile, but it's the means for us to get to earth. It's not by our fault. It's not something that we've chosen or said, I want to be coming from this family. Do you get me, Bandase? Ne? And we find ourselves with the families that we find ourselves with. Yeah, but some of them become very toxic to us. And you find out, obviously, in your family, it happens a lot. Siblings, cousins, even your paternal parents, right? They become very toxic to you as a person. And it's a very painful feeling, especially if it's coming from your own parents, Mandase, because your brain is not wired to think that someone you love so much can do certain things to you. Do you understand, Mandase? It could be your mom, a relative, it could be your parents themselves. I just want us to talk on that a little bit, because who we have become today, is a result of the environments that we come from. Do you understand, Mandase? From the things that you believe in, from what limits you from becoming the best version of yourself, right, Mandase? From the things that you think you deserve, the life that you deserve. And from what you think of yourself is informed by your past environment, the no's that you've heard. A lot. Imagine hearing no all the time, but imagine hearing that, okay? And then also interacting with certain kinds of people, and then you hear all of these negative things about yourself. You'll obviously believe that about yourself. And you know what that does to you as a person? It alters something in your brain to think that, they might be right after all, or this is how the world should run, or this is my life. You accept that you deserve a life of mediocre. You deserve a life that's less than what you deserve, because now you've been conditioned by everything that everyone around you is saying. Just imagine a little child growing up in this chaotic environment. Not in a nice, chilling way, but an uncared for child. I'm not talking about people that are chilling and there's children running around. I'm not talking about that scenario. I'm talking about a little child running around, and then she looks and she like, where have I found myself? Where have I landed myself? What kind of environment? They end up thinking that that's right. That's the place that they need to be in. Okay, Bandas? So I'm talking to all of us because who we have become today, right, Mandase? Where we are in life is the result of where we come from. So we need to try and go back to our default settings. And how do you do that? And you have to remove a lot of beliefs from your life. You understand? Find what works for you as an individual. And you speak a lot of positivity about yourself. Sometimes get things like that. But the most important thing that you need to do, is to make sure that you spend a lot of time with yourself. And when I'm saying spend a lot of time with yourself, is that time when you reflect about who am I, what is it that I like, what makes me me. Because in a place that's noisy, a place that's full of people, you still getting all these different kinds of information that you don't need sometimes, right? It's a stage, that you cannot jump. You're gone this stage of fetching yourself. Who's land, man, because remember you're scattered all over. When I'm saying you're scattered all over, you're scattered in a certain phase of your life that was rough, and then they said things to you, and then there was a boyfriend situation, they said things to you, and then there was a job situation that you did not get. A lot of no's, a lot of chaos in your life. And you were surrounded by people that don't feed your confidence, speak down on you, and all of those things, they factor into the person that you are. You understand, So you need to now, go fetch yourself, spend a lot of time with yourself, pour onto yourself. And how you pour on yourself, it's different for everyone. But find things that gives you peace. People that gives you peace, read books that you love, listen to music that you love. You understand, even the movies that you watch, make sure you don't watch movies that will shock you. You understand? You need to watch things that will enhance who you are, things that will speak to your inner being. Do you get me, Because now you're trying to clean up all of this rubbish that was poured into you as a child, as a teenager, as you grow up, now that you're at the place that now you can find and fetch yourself, darling, do that for yourself, because if you don't do that, I'm telling you, your life is not going to be balanced. You're either going to have money, but you're not at peace, or your life is just not balanced altogether. Do you understand, Whatever balance means to you, we are gonna understand. But every human's life has to have a bit of everything, a balance of every phase of life. You understand about that? So it's something that you really need to do for yourself. Otherwise, is going to catch up with you in the future. It's going to make you miserable. You're going to be frustrated, right? And you're going to be someone that snaps. But you don't know the reason why, because you have not done the inner work. There's people, that have not done inner work. And then when they come together, you're the explosion, because we don't talk about it enough, because we're busy chasing the bag. Once you do the inner work, you become a person of value, right? And then you attract other people of value, and then opportunities of value find you. Even a person can tell when you come in, when they have a conversation with you, that this person, you might not have a certain skill, but someone will give you a chance just by having a conversation with you, just by seeing that this person just need that little chance or a break to become. Also, other people of value wants to be with other people of value. And how do you quantify value? How do you impact others around you? Do you know, do you pour on others? Right, and what you're pouring on others, is it of quality to them? Does it change their lives, So the more you do your inner work inside you, the more you are able to pour onto others things of quality and value. I know there's a lot of noise on the internet. There's a lot of content that's not of value, and it says everywhere, right? But there's not enough discussion about what we need to do now inside. Because you have to sleep with yourself, Mandasa. You have to look at yourself inside out. Am I a human of value, right, Mandas? Do I bring value to myself and to people? Have I done the work inside so that I can be a person of value and a person that brings value to the people around me? Mandas, you have to face yourself at some point. So if you do this work, Mandas, constantly, I'm telling you, Sana, because it's a ripple effect, right? One good deed, right, Mandas, brings in another, and another, attracts another. It's very important that you do the work. We all come from these environments that are not conducive for us, that we did not ask to come from. It's not by our fault, right? Because we don't choose. It's just a means for us to get into this earth. And I always say that the transition from that bad environment is entirely dependent on you, on your resilience, right, Mandas? And you'll be presented with a lot of choices, easy choices, right, to become a better person, and difficult choices. And that's entirely up to you what you choose. And I know a lot of people opt for the easy choices of, cutting corners on things and all of that. But are they sustainable for you long term, right? And are they going to keep you where you are? People that find things easy by doing things that they were not supposed to do, and they even justify them. Sometimes they don't have choices, right? Because of the environment they come from. But that's a very dangerous move that you can make, because now you're setting yourself up for failure, for now and future failure as well, right, Bandas? But if you choose the options that are hard, and I'm saying they are hard, Bandas, no one wants to choose something hard. I'm saying they're hard because they require you to be very focused, right? To be very patient, as well as be someone that's consistent in what they're trying to do. You also have to be very disciplined. Let's take an example. There's us that is study, we study while you're working. Do you know how difficult that is? And you are a mother, Sana. That is difficult to balance. So that kind of focus, patience. So I'm saying there's difficult options because they require a lot of time. You have to put in time on these things, Bandas. And these are good quality things that will help you in the future, that will set you up for the future. And yes, you can choose the easy options. It's up to you what you choose, but you're gonna have to pay for it in the front. Difficult options, Mandas, you put in time, stay focused on your path, you remove distractions, and you start with the small things, Mandas, like keeping your word in general. If you said you do something, do it, for yourself. By the way, even your mind is getting trained to do the same thing. Now it becomes a habit, and that's a good habit. And good habits attracts other good habits, right? And it's the little things, that you need to just adjust to, and then they end up into a bigger milestone, right? And you're good, darling. You are good. What you surround yourself with dictates who you become. So you have to watch those little things around you, the people that you bring around you. And then just going back to the environments that we grew up in. We came on this earth very optimistic, son, in our best version, and then now we ended up in certain environment, certain people, right, certain situation, and then they've altered the person that we're supposed to be. And now I don't deserve certain things, or no, maybe the life that I'm living is okay, but it's not, Bandasa, that's not who you were born to be. So you have to go back to your default settings, Bandasa. You understand? That person that was so optimistic, you were so happy first thing in the morning. Yeah, Bandasa. Sometimes abantu bazathi you're extra. No, you're not extra. Yeah, Bandasa, you are just the person that you were meant to be. Yeah, and most of the time, for you to be able to do that, you have to change your thinking a lot. Ne? You have to remove certain things that you believe that limit you, Bandasa. You remove negativity around you. You start with new habits. You understand, Bandasa? And you have to understand that life is not for certain people, Bandasa. But the difference is that others take the leap, Bandasa, ne? Life is for all of us. Your story matters, darling. You are special in your corner. So you have to make sure that you don't have a giving up spirit. Ne? You get up and do it again. And as you try again, maybe there was something that you needed to learn or you needed to adjust into and you did not. So you try again until you find the lesson. And that's you just have to know about we all have a mission in this life. We're not just here to wake up and eat bread and go to work. No, we all have a mission, no matter how small it is. It could be in your family. You could be someone that needs to just get your family to the next level, or someone that needs to help your siblings. Whatever that you need to do, Bandasa, you just have to find it. But how do you find it, Bandasa? Now, if there's all this distraction around you, there's a lot of noise around you, Bandasa, and you have not done the inner work, because you have to first find out, who am I? Why am I here? What are the things that I love? What are the things that resonate with me? What are the things that makes me Bandasa? And you know those things because they'll bring you peace. You understand, Bandasa? You won't have negative feelings around those things, and they come. This thing that comes easy for you. So you have to be constantly trying to find out about who am I. There's levels on you mastering yourself. And I'm saying life is not for certain individuals, it's for all of us. You just have to find something in your corner that you are in, and then work with that, darling. Because the beauty about life is that we are all unique. We are all individuals. We bring something unique. How beautiful is that? Imagine if we were all the same. How boring were we going to be? If we were all the same, how boring was life going to be? If we were all doing the same thing, we like the same thing. You understand, Bandas? So it's a beautiful thing to be different. So don't look at other people's situation and think, oh, I want mine to look like that. No, yours is not supposed to look like theirs. Yours is supposed to look very unique. It's different. Might be new. You understand, Bandas? Might be something that the world is not used to. It's new, it's you, it's unique, Bandas. That is why it is beautiful. So you have to start fixing things, little things around you. Then once you're done with the little things, now you'll graduate to the bigger things. But you can't jump one. It's like preparing the ground to put in the seed, and then you can harvest. So I'm very big, Mandasa, on decluttering your life, fixing the small things, your little space, your big space, darling, things you don't need. You understand, Mandasa? People you don't need around you. Certain kinds of music, certain kind of movies. You read things that feed you, the person that you are, things that feed your spirit. You listen to things that enhance you. You get to be around with people that enhance who you are. Now you're becoming a person of value, and now you start being selective on who get to spend time with you, your space, because you've done your work. And you'll be able to identify very easily people that are not supposed to be in your life. Yeah, and the quality people that are supposed to be in your life, they'll also be able to identify it. You'll have quality experiences, darling. Yeah, you want us with quality people. Yeah, and what does that mean for your future life? Yeah, you want us your life now is very nice and balanced. And once you've done with the little things, then you ask yourself questions like, what do I do now, right? Now, to make sure that in the future, or the future is prepared for. You know, how do I prepare now for the next 3 years? Yeah, if I want to, you know, what are the things that I can do, things that are in my control? Yeah, I want to, because there's things that are not in your control, but what are the things that are in my control? They might not be financial sometimes. It might be for you to just sit with yourself and ask questions and do the work first. That's the groundwork that you need to do so that you prepare it for the future. And then from there, Bandas, you will definitely know what else, which areas of my life I need to look into and fix. Yeah, Bandas, very, very important, Bandas. You know, I see a lot of people that's making that mistake, thinking that, you know, you can go to another phase of life without fixing this one. You can jump. No, you don't jump. It catches up with you ahead. Yeah, Vaman does it. It catches up with you one way or the other. Then you have to go back to it. And then for you now to clean up that bag because it's full of clutter. Yeah, Vaman does it. It becomes difficult. Yeah, and I've touched on this previously on my blogs that you constantly have to clean up your bag, right? Because it's every day, right? Every day. It's every day. Every day you learn new things about yourself. You discover new things that you can do. The world around you is changing. You need to adapt. You need to make sure that your brain is aligned with what's happening around you, and you need to check, but the environment that I'm in, is it still conducive for me, right? The things that I believe in, are they feeding me? Are they paying out actually? Yeah, so, and the company that you keep, is it a company that is suitable for the person that I am? You know, I know a lot of people, they sit on pain, Mandas. I don't know why people do that to themselves. Sit on pain. Hi, Mandas. Hey, I don't know why people do that. Sit on pain and then now expect others to be part of their pain or listen to their pain, Mandas. You know, you also don't want to be a dumping place for trauma or pain. And I'm not saying that you don't listen to people when they frustrated with situations, but some situations you can see behind this, you could have resolved 1, 2, 3, or you try to help to say you can resolve this issue by doing 1, 2, 3. But people just sit on pain, and again, Mandas, I think I did talk about it. You can't blame them. It's what they know. It takes a lot of resilience, a certain kind of mindset to be able to remove yourself from situations that don't work for you. Yeah, even that's not easy. Not all of us can do it, and not all of us have a choice to be able to take that leap. That we keep ourselves safe. Yeah, that's removing yourself from certain bad situations. It's you keeping yourself safe. Or why are you not doing that to yourself? You owe that to yourself. So once you work on those small things, they end up into a bigger milestone, and suddenly it becomes a domino effect. Yeah, and it attracts now, other good things. Sana. Definitely, quality people always find each other because they can speak on a level that is based on similar experiences. Yeah, and now, you won't need anyone's permission, son, to be your best version because you've done the groundwork. Yeah, you won't need validation first of all. You won't need permission. Yeah, because now you put in the hard work. You know what you're worth. You know what you bring. Yeah, in any space, in any table. So you won't accept crumbs. You understand? And you won't accept to be in company that's not of good value. You understand, Bandas? Based off of your work that you've put in, you just know, no. The noise of this world can no longer distract you, Bandas, because you have done the internal work. You can just see things and be like, no. Yeah, Bandas. Now you're grounded in who you are. Yeah, Bandas. You are in control of yourself and you can no longer blame other people. Yeah, because I said we're coming from these different environments. Yes, they've informed who we become, who we are to a certain level, but we've done the work for yourself. You're in control, darling. You no longer blame other people for your outcomes. Yeah, you've done the work for yourself so that you become a quality person. And now you realize, but I'm capable. Yeah, I'm very resilient, but for every problem that I will face or I face, there is a solution. You're not gonna go back and say, oh, the environment that I grew up in. No, you're not gonna do that now. You are now going to be a responsible adult and find solutions. And if there's no solution, you remove yourself because it's hurting you, right? Yeah, it's making you feel a way that you're not supposed to feel. It's not good for you. Anything that feels a certain way is something that's not good for you. So you can't sit on it. You cannot sit on pain, Bandas. Why? Who said when you deserve things that are not good? No one said that about you. Okay, they may have said in the environment that we grew up in, the people that we grew up with, but now you've done the work, you're in control, you're capable, Bandas, so you can find solutions into your problems. And as a person that's of value now, do you understand the kinds of problems that you will have, Bandas, will be minimum because you have created certain wall around you so that certain kind of problems don't penetrate you. Yeah, Bandas. So I always say, Bandas, education is not just about academics. Education is about understanding life, understanding yourself. Just like in education, I have a call. Grandfather. Sikhona wethu, I can't pay nje 15 minutes akufonela ba?
Okay.
Yeah, but education is not about academics only. Education is also you understanding life, understanding your environment, understanding yourself, doing the work. Self-study, so that you master yourself. And if you don't master yourself, and your environment, you will not be able to go to other phases of life. Like I always say that because there's lessons that you need to learn. Just like you go in university and go learn, there's lessons that you need to learn about yourself. What makes you you? Yeah, you have to do that work, so that you can graduate to the next level of understanding life. When I'm saying quality, I'm saying people who have done the work, constantly. They respond to situations differently. They come, they're able to solve problems. They approach situations differently. And I'm not talking about financial problems, I know that we all have financial problems that we cannot run away from, and money that we all need that can solve a lot of problems. I'm just talking about just normal situations. Then you can tell, this person is of quality. And there's things that you will do when no one is looking, that can tell the kind of person that you are. Sometimes you're passing in an aisle at a shop and there's a tin on the floor or something fell on the floor, and it's just you on that aisle and you don't pick it up because you're saying to yourself, it's not mine. So what does that say about the kind of human that you are? Ne? If you are someone that's considerate and you understand that that is bought by someone's money, they're running a business, not easy, you pick it up and put it back. And it's something that you would have done in your house, right? Right? The same thing that we see in these bathrooms. Sometimes it's a mess. People just leave things like that. And you wonder, what kind of human is this one that just did this? You understand? So, and you meet those kinds of situations, like in the supermarket, and what you do there now, Mandasa, in that situation, determines the kind of person that you are. And sometimes you have an opportunity to work at the place, but you say no because it does not align with your values. And you know the kinds of things that they do in that place. However, you need money, but because Mandasa, you are a quality human, you're like, no, I can't do this. We're gone. So if you've done your inner work, which we don't get to do because we're growing, we're chasing the bag, we become moms, we become a lot of things. And then we neglect this stage. This is a stage that we should have started with, but we find ourselves in situations. Then we're like, I need to do 1, 2, 3 so that I become a person of value tomorrow for myself. And if you don't do this work, you're gonna be in a bit of a tight position, even if you have financial means, because there has to be a balance. That's why sometimes you find that people have money, but they're not of quality. Because there's things that you cannot buy, like you can't buy value. That you cannot buy. It's something that you work on constantly and become that. So Sana, fetch your life, baby, realize, Oza, Aza, la 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 la, fetch your life, baby, realize, Yeah, so it's very important, to constantly work on yourself, work on your surrounding, feed yourself with quality information. There's a lot of information you don't need. There's a lot of that. Things that are not of quality, there's so many. It's so easy to find. So try to feed yourself with quality things. We'll be together here, Bantas, 3 to 5 years. Then I'll be like, yo, Bantaspo, uyankhumbula, ngangitheni kuwe Bantas, and uzathi hayi Ntase, hey, Bantas, don't say nah, I didn't tell you into the right, Bantas, right. And if there's something you like in me or about me, uzawumamela Bantas, because in life, Bantas, it's not that simple. And people that understand, it's not a formula, because life doesn't have a formula. People that understand, they don't share it. So then as your system, constantly work on yourself, so that you become someone of value, someone that brings value, and watch what you listen to, the movies, your surroundings, so that you feed into the person that you are and want to become. And I know it's easy, because of the kinds of environment that we come from. It's so easy. Take the easy way out, because it's easy. Who wants to do hard things? But Sana, do the hard things that requires you to be focused, honey. Things that requires you to be a patient, man. Sana, that phone died. So Sana, I'm gonna leave this here, and but I was like, yo, let me sit nabantu azibusingcokola man from my sofa, njengabantu abancokola njengezihlobo zam, really strategize, and think about you proud of the person that you are today. For you to be proud of yourself, what are the things that you need to do today, Bandase, so that tomorrow, and because I always say to you guys, you have the advantage of time, the privilege of time. Do you understand, Bandase? Ne? Because some of us, we are like me. I'm 51. Oh, there's things that I could have done better, darling. Yeah, Bandase, there are things that I could have done better, but I could be worse off. I'm trying to see, but on the things that have worked in my life, what are the things that I can share so that they can enhance on that, can even do it 10 times better than me. So if there's anything that you admire in my life, you like in my life, you like about me, and there's things that, these are the things that make me the person that I am today, you take some of those Bandase and you hear what I'm saying to you, to say you have the privilege of time, darlings. You can do what I've done 10 times better, and enhance on that, make your life the best life possible in the future. Because I always say you only have one life, one shot. You only have one shot, really, because the other shots you are fixing things, and stuff. And I'm not saying there's people that get it straight. There's nothing that they are fixing. But you don't want to fix a bag full of junk. At your later stages in life. So you use the opportunity that you have now, work on yourself to be a quality being, and you attract other quality beings like you. Even with partners, just like you, because you are the person that you are. Businesses, jobs as well. Do that for yourself. Bye-bye, so it's getting cold. I need to drink my tea in my new tea station. Bye. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We talk about things that will improve our lives, things that will make us better humans. For tomorrow. What you put in as a seed today, Sana, will determine your future. So you choose right, choose wisely. There's a lot of noise. Please block the noise of this world. Focus on yourself. Focus. We used to gijima in the streets of the in these social streets of focus. There's life outside of social media. So put in the work. Don't sit there or socialize or go. Alright, get those. Thank you so much for tuning in, Bandase. Love you. Talk to you again. See you on the vlog on Thursday. Thank you so much. Bye.